Good afternoon and welcome to our show. Today we're discussing a question that many of us ask ourselves at some point in our lives. Is it better to build a career based on our deepest passions, or should we choose a path that offers more stability and security? To help us explore this topic, we have two guests with very different views. Leo is a strong believer in following your passion, and Maria argues that a stable career is the smarter, more practical choice. Welcome to you both.
Thank you for having me, Sarah. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, thank you. I look forward to the discussion.
Excellent. Let's begin with opening statements. Leo, would you like to start? Tell us why you believe passion should be our guide.
Of course. For me, this is a very personal topic. A few years ago, I had what most people would call a good job. It was in an office. The salary was reliable, and my future seemed secure. But every morning when I woke up, I felt a sense of dread. I was bored and uninspired. I spent my days watching the clock, waiting for the moment I could leave and finally do something I enjoyed. I realized that I was spending 40 hours a week, the best hours of my day, feeling empty. Life is simply too short for that. Work should be more than just a way to earn money. It should be a source of energy and happiness. I believe that when you're truly passionate about what you do, you work harder, you're more creative, and you're more motivated to overcome challenges. This isn't just about feeling good. It often leads to greater success in the long run. Your natural enthusiasm attracts new opportunities and people who want to support you. The emotional reward, the feeling of building something you love, is far more valuable than a bigger salary in a job that makes you unhappy. I know it's not always the easiest path. It involves risk, and there are no guarantees. But the potential for a life that is genuinely fulfilling and exciting makes that risk worth taking. I left my stable job to start my own small woodworking business, and I've never been happier.
Thank you, Leo, for that personal and powerful statement. Maria, we now turn to you. Please share your perspective on why a stable career might be the better choice.
Thank you, Sarah. Leo's story is inspiring, but I believe it represents an ideal that isn't practical or even desirable for everyone. From my perspective, the main purpose of a job is to provide the financial resources we need to live a comfortable and secure life. A stable career is the foundation upon which we can build genuine happiness and freedom. Without that stability, life can be filled with constant stress and anxiety about the future. How can you feel truly happy if you're always worried about paying your rent or saving for an emergency? Financial security allows you to make important life choices. It gives you the ability to buy a home, support a family, and plan for retirement. These are the things that provide long-term peace of mind. Furthermore, a stable job often comes with predictable hours. This means you have the time and, just as importantly, the mental energy to pursue your passions as hobbies. You can paint, play music, or travel without the enormous pressure of making those activities your only source of income. When your passion becomes your job, it can sometimes lose its joy. It becomes connected to deadlines, customer demands, and financial stress. A stable career protects your passions from that pressure. Finally, a stable job doesn't have to be boring. There's great satisfaction in becoming an expert in your field, in being a reliable team member, and in knowing that you're building a secure future for yourself and your loved ones. Stability is not the opposite of happiness. It is the platform that makes real happiness possible.
Thank you, Maria, for that very clear and logical argument. Now, I'd like to move into a more direct discussion. You've both made excellent points, and I want to challenge them a little. Maria, I'll start with you. Leo described the joy of being excited for work each day. Many people in stable jobs feel bored or uninspired, just as he did. Isn't that a high price to pay for security?
That's a fair question, but I think it presents a false choice. My satisfaction doesn't come only from my job. It comes from my life as a whole. My career as an accountant is stable, and yes, some days are routine. However, the security that job provides allows me to have a wonderful, rich life outside of work. I don't take my work stress home with me. I leave the office at 5 o'clock, and I'm free. Because I'm not worried about money, I can afford to take painting classes, which is my true passion. I can travel to see art around the world. My job is the tool that builds this fulfilling life. I think the price of an unstable life, the constant anxiety, is much higher.
If I may, Sarah, I understand that point, but we spend about a third of our adult lives at work. That's more than 90,000 hours for the average person. Should that time really be something we just get through in order to enjoy the other parts? It feels like a defensive way to live. Instead of just using a job as a tool, why not make the work itself a source of joy and accomplishment?
That's a fair point, Leo. But that brings me to my question for you. Maria's argument about reducing stress is powerful. Pursuing a passion is risky and doesn't work out for everyone. How do you advise people to manage the very real financial uncertainty and stress that comes with leaving a safe job to follow a dream?
That's the most common objection, and it's an important one. I don't believe you have to be reckless. It doesn't have to be a sudden, dramatic decision where you quit your job with no plan. For many people, the smarter way is to start your passion as a side project. Work on it in the evenings and on weekends. Build it slowly and carefully. Learn the business skills you need along the way. You can test your ideas and start earning some income before you leave the security of your full-time job. This approach reduces the risk significantly. Also, let's not forget that staying in a job you dislike causes its own kind of stress. That chronic unhappiness, that feeling of being trapped, can be just as harmful to your health as financial anxiety. It's a different kind of risk, but it's a risk nonetheless.
But that slow build approach is a luxury that not everyone has. It's much easier for a young person with no major responsibilities. What about people who have a mortgage to pay or parents with young children? Their stable job isn't just a choice, it's a necessity for the well-being of their family. They don't have the extra time or energy to build a new business on the side. For them, stability is not about avoiding risk. It's about responsibility. It's about making sure their children have everything they need. That is a noble and fulfilling purpose in itself.
This is a great discussion. It's clear that both paths have their own challenges and rewards. So let me ask both of you, is it possible to find a compromise? Can a person find a career that offers both passion and stability? Maria, what are your thoughts?
Absolutely. I think the compromise is about being practical in how you approach your passion. For example, if you love music, you don't have to be a rock star to be happy. That path is incredibly unstable. But you could find a stable career within the music industry. You could be an accountant for a record label, a marketing manager for a concert hall, or a software engineer for a music streaming company. In this way, you can be close to the world you love, contributing to it in a meaningful way, while still enjoying the benefits of a regular salary, health insurance, and a retirement plan. It's about finding stability in the field you're passionate about.
Leo, how do you see the middle ground?
I see it a bit differently. Maria's suggestion is a good one, but I think the ultimate goal should be to turn your passion into a stable career over time. My woodworking business was not stable on day one. It was terrifying, but I worked hard to make it stable. I learned about business, I found reliable customers, and I created a sustainable model. The goal isn't to choose between passion and stability. It's to make your passion your stability. It requires patience and a different mindset. You're not just an artist or a creator, you're also an entrepreneur. It's about building a system where your passion can support you fully, so you don't have to compromise on either.
Fascinating. Two different ideas of what a compromise looks like. We're nearing the end of our time, so I'd like to ask you both for a brief closing statement. Leo, please summarize your position for our audience.
My final message is simple. Don't settle for a life that doesn't excite you. Your work is a huge part of your identity and your daily experience. Choosing to follow your passion is an investment in your own happiness and well-being. Remember that genuine passion fuels incredible motivation. This motivation can help you overcome obstacles and create your own success, often in ways you never expected. It's not just about finding a job you can tolerate. It's about building a life you truly love. So I encourage everyone to ask themselves what they truly want from their life, not just from their paycheck. Don't be afraid to take a calculated risk on your own happiness. It's the most rewarding investment you can ever make.
Thank you, Leo. And now, Maria, your closing statement, please.
My advice is to be pragmatic and build your life on a strong foundation. A stable career is not a life sentence of boredom. It is a powerful tool that gives you freedom, security, and peace of mind. Financial stability reduces the everyday stress that can ruin relationships and health. It allows you the freedom to enjoy your family, your friends, and your passions without the constant pressure of needing them to pay your bills. Your passion can remain a pure source of joy. So build your security first. Think of your career as the engine that powers the life you want. A good, stable job doesn't take away from your dreams. It gives you the resources and the safety to pursue them wisely.
Thank you both, Leo and Maria, for such an honest and thought-provoking discussion. You've given us so much to consider. Today, we heard two very different but equally valid perspectives. Leo's view champions the search for deep, personal fulfillment in our work, encouraging us to align our careers with our passions. Maria's view highlights the importance of practical security, arguing that a stable career provides the foundation needed for a low-stress life where passions can be enjoyed freely. Ultimately, there's no single answer that's right for everyone. The best choice depends on your personality, your financial responsibilities, and what you value most in life. We hope this conversation has helped you think about what balance is right for you. Thank you for joining us today.